All right, this is part 3 of my knife modification video. You can see this has been finished for quite a while. I didn't make this, it's been probably 3 or 4 months since I finished this knife, and I've been using it ever since. This gives you a good idea of the finished work. Just to recap real quick, this knife, as many of you are probably aware, comes with a pretty significant thumb ramp here. It comes with a couple choils on the handle here. Those were getting in my way. The thumb ramp was definitely getting in my way. Also, the normal TPE handle has a big cutout here, which when I would chop with this knife wasn't the most comfortable. So you can see on my micarta handles, I went ahead and encapsulated the lanyard hole. As far as the replicating the swell on the pommel and up here in the palm area, I kept that shape from the original. I figured Griffin knows what he's doing, and I was happy with that. I took it down thinner here because when I am choked up on the knife, I prefer this transition much better than having a large shelf here. You can see I chose to come up quite a bit further with the handle over the stock, which kind of ends back here. So this is all additional material which I've added when I made these scales. It really does facilitate a lot of comfort for my thumb and for my finger when I am choked up. But also additionally, this sweep of the handle when I'm using the knife or batoning or chopping, it acts as a ramp to keep the material from riding into my hand, or like when it's TPE, it just eats up the rubbery TPE material. The jimping on the original knife stops like back here, so all this is jimping that I've done to kind of replicate the original. Worked out pretty good. You can tell when I used the knife to pommel, it's kind of eaten into the micarta a little bit, but in general I'm very happy with the durability that this handle is showing. And again, just to recap, it's a nylon material. I got it at a thrift store, and I just saturated with 5-minute epoxy. I put it in a little glue block and let it dry, and then I bolted the scales on and shaped it on a combination wheel grinder and a belt sander. I did finish it. You can probably tell by the sheen in the video that it's finished pretty smoothly. It hasn't been a problem with grip, but I suppose you could leave it rough sanded if you wanted a little more texture. The trickiest part by far in finishing this mod has been getting the scale bolts the right length. They have to be ground down so that they hit the center line of the tang. Then I countersink them using a Forstner bit. Just a hint, if you end up doing this and you get these, which I think I could actually buy these at the at Lowe's, screw a nut onto the bolt, then grind it down, then back the nut off, because the backing the nut off is going to chase the threads so that they will then be able to thread nicely into the tang, and you're not going to cross thread things. I like the fact that I didn't quite obstruct the Schrade, but in general, for my philosophy of use for this knife, it is much improved by making the changes I have. I have a much more versatile option when it comes to the grip. I'm still able to grab back here if I really need to use this for doing any kind of chopping. It's much more comfortable when I choke up to do finer tasks with the knife. I'm at 4 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and there'll be a part 4 where I will show you the the sheath that I made custom for this knife. That's a little bit of an innovation. I hope this has been helpful. Sorry for the huge jump ahead in the parts here, but pretty cool knife, and hopefully it'll inspire some of you if you've got the SCHF9 to see what's possible with the knife. Cheers.